So I'm an entrepreneur and a creative. I always love connecting with other creative people who venture into entrepreneurship. One of those people is Roanna Reyes. Roanna Reyes is the founder of Studio Arteco. Studio Arteco is an Asian-inspired design house here in Calgary, Alberta. She's smart, she's very creative, and she's actually an ergonomic wizard as well. So because we're working from home so much lately, thanks to COVID, she's going to show me how to make my workspace more effective, being that it's a home workspace. So we're looking forward to connecting with Roanna and learning more about her and her business. So where did you grow up?
So I was born and raised in Manila, Philippines, and I moved here with my family 5 years ago. So both my parents are architects, and also my grandfathers from both sides are architects. Okay. Some of my uncles too, both sides. So yeah, I would say that I come from a long line of architects, and my parents, they're my idols. They've inspired me. Of course, they greatly influenced my chosen career path, obviously. So yeah, because of them, especially my dad, I remember just sitting with him by his drafting table while he was working on some of the projects. I would sit beside him and do the versions of those projects on my own. And yeah, he taught me how to doodle and to sketch, line weights and everything. So it's been very interesting, and ever since I've always wanted to be an architect.
Was that your first job out of university, or did you do something else when you were in university?
Yeah, funny you should ask. So I've never thought I'd had another, a job before going into architecture, but I got into TV and print modeling. Okay. Print and TV commercial modeling, and which was very interesting for me, and it opened up a new world. I enjoy being in front of the camera, and yeah, it taught me how to be comfortable in front of people, talking to people, right? Putting in personalities to characters that I have to be, and facial expressions in front of the camera. You have to be someone, and you have to show someone in 30 to 45 seconds or less, right? You have to show that emotion. So that for me is a great challenge as well. So
which ties in very nicely with actually
with
creativity and architecture.
Yes, right? So I've modeled for such a long time.
Right.
Yeah, so I enjoyed that too. And then I ventured into architecture, of course. Yes. Right? So I was an architect and a model at the same time.
Okay, so Studio Arteco is a relatively new venture. I'm excited to hear more about it. So tell me about how you started, why and how you started Studio Arteco, and what does Arteco mean?
So yeah, Studio Arteco, so I was coming up with different names. I wanted to have a little Filipino sounding name, right? So Arte means, in Tagalog or in Filipino, it actually means discerning, being very particular. It's a slang word, and ko means me. Okay. Right? So Arteco. So I'm particular. I'm discerning, because that's how I want Studio Arteco to be.
Right.
To have bespoke Asian-inspired architecture or design. It's a design house, which actually is a collaboration of interior design, residential design, and curated products, which I want to bring from all over the world. Right. Because I also love to travel, so when we get to travel, I would want to do that as well and bring here to North America. Right.
So you don't just do residential homes, which I find fascinating because I was doing some research on you. So you've been involved in really amazing custom home projects all over the world, but you've also done a lot of large projects, so office type buildings, commercial buildings, resorts. So tell us more about that.
So yeah, so when I was still with Reyes Design, I was working with my parents back home, back in Manila. So we have designed projects in Oman, in Singapore, in Malaysia, and of course in the Philippines, and airports, from airports to malls.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so to malls, and of course residences and commercial buildings, and also hospitals.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So Studio Arteco here in Canada will be able to do very similar works.
Of course, yes. Yeah.
Excellent. So So it's been great learning more about Studio Arteco. Thank you. I'm excited to share this with everybody because I think you have a lot to offer to the Western Canadian market that they don't, they haven't seen before. And I think that's what people are really looking for. So that's great. But I also understand, did a little research, that you are actually an ergonomic wizard, which means that right now,
ergonomic assessor. Yes.
Well, okay. Well, your humility is good. And for those of us who don't know what that is, ergonomic wizardry is being able to have a space that is comfortable, I'm assuming, right? That doesn't strain your body.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's a technical explanation for it, but I'll let you explain that more when you show us how to set up. Sure. Given that we're in sort of this COVID situation, a lot more people are working from home than they'd like to be, and so I think it's important now that we learn how to maybe set up our office in an ergonomic fashion that's healthy and efficient and organized, safe, exactly.
Right.
So let's show us how to do this.
Sure.
Okay. So this already is much more organized and cleaner than my desk at home, but we won't show anybody shots of my office. So I'm going to let you talk, but we just want to do a quick shout out to McCrum's Office Furniture, who has given us this chair to use for this demonstration. So thanks very much, McCrum's. The team over there is awesome.
This is one of their newer Technion Lifeform chairs that I would recommend if you could invest in a chair. So this is one of those chairs that is very ergonomic. First of all, what is ergonomics? Do you know what ergonomics is?
I don't. So you're the wizard. Please teach us.
So ergonomics is, basically it's the art or the study of people in their working environment.
Okay. How
people have to adjust or they need to, to shift in the systems, the equipment that they have. And you're right, saying that we're all in this, this crazy time right now that we're working from home, and we need to know how to set up our offices, our home offices, the right way, which is safe, which is efficient, which will work efficiently for us, right? And so we can start. I'll let you be my guinea pig here.
I'll be the crash test dummy.
So let's start with the chair.
Okay.
So of course you have your desk, you have your chair, you can have a return desk at the back or even on the side, right? Okay. For now here in our stage home office, we have the return desk right here behind us. So I'll ask you to please sit down.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Don't mind if I do. It's very comfortable.
Yeah. So I love this chair, and I know it comes in different colors too, right?
I believe so, yes.
So of course, as I said, if you can invest in a good chair, please, that would be great. That's a chair that can be adjusted, tilted up and down, right? And of course, a chair that can support your back, which is very, very important. Okay. So one simple tip, which is probably hard for most of us, is do not hunch.
Yeah,
so
that's a tough one for me.
So you have to be aware of your shoulders. It has to be, just relaxed. Okay. You don't want to look like a turtle. Okay. So just relax your shoulders, and if you can scooch over your bum to the back of the seat right here, there you go. And it helps, right? It helps being aware, being more conscious of sitting upright.
Okay.
So that's how you do it. And if you don't have an ergonomic chair, that's okay. Don't lose hope in your whatever chair that you're using at home. You can use a folded blanket. Okay. Right, and use it as a lumbar support or a folded a throw pillow. Okay. Or a blanket, a jacket, and whatnot. So that can greatly help in your posture. Okay. So now that you're sitting, your feet should be flat on the ground, and you should feel very comfortable.
So I can't do like I do at home, where I tuck one underneath that. That's not a good
idea. No. And of course, most of us ladies, we love crossing our legs, right? So, but we know that it's bad. It's bad for the legs, and we don't want varicose veins. So I do not recommend crossing legs, or what is that doing?
Tuck the one leg under.
No. Okay. So as much as possible, be comfortable. Okay. Right? And how you're sitting, sit upright, feet flat on the ground. Okay. Now that we have armrests right here.
I'm gonna have to get rid of my beanbag office chair, I guess. That's
my goodness, you have a beanbag chair.
Yeah.
So the armrests, these can be adjusted, and your arm should be flat flush on the desk, right? So I think this is a little bit higher than the desk. If you can adjust it, then that's perfect.
Oh, okay.
let me know if that works for you.
That's actually good right there.
See? So, and then if you can adjust the other side as well. Right there.
There we go.
Okay, so how are you feeling now when you're sitting?
Actually, this alone this is fascinating to me.
Okay.
I've never even heard of that before. So
it's very easy, right?
wizardry. See, wizardry.
Okay, so now that let's go and assess the desk part here.
Okay.
So free of clutter as much as possible. And
I live in clutter, really? All right.
Well, you have to put it and put your stuff in such a way that you don't have to reach over. Right? Everything's going to be within reach. Your phone, or if you're right-handed, left-handed, are you right-handed?
Right-handed.
If you're right-handed, put your phone on your right side.
Okay.
And if you use your phone all the time,
Yes.
I assume.
Yes.
If you are always on calls, I suggest getting a nice headset, or wear your AirPods or earbuds or whatever, so that you don't have to be consistently holding it and pressing it against between your shoulders and your ear, which will create neck strain.
Right.
So remember, it's safety, right? It's all about safety when it comes to ergonomics. So your computer. Now that we're working from home, most of us use our laptops.
Correct.
We don't really recommend using our laptops permanently or permanent desktops.
Okay. Why is that?
Because you'll be looking down, right?
Okay.
So if you can invest, or if you have an external monitor, that's great, right? Because when the recommendation in ergonomics is that your screen must be at eye level.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
And if you push out your arm, that's how far your screen should be.
Oh, okay.
Right? So now that we have this laptop here,
I'm making so many mistakes.
you can actually use books to prop up your computer if you don't have an external monitor, right? There you go. Or you can even use laptop stands. You can buy it from, you can buy it online too.
Right.
So you can use that, and some even use external keyboards to be placed here.
Okay.
So that's another, simple trick that you can do.
Okay.
But still, I would recommend to do the 20-20 rule. Do you know 20-20-20 rule?
No.
Do you know that rule?
I do not know that
So
rule.
the 20-20-20 rule is actually very simple. Every 20 minutes, you look away from your screen, look away from your computer, and look 20 feet away, at least 20 feet away, for 20 seconds.
Oh, okay.
That's how you prevent eye strain.
Okay.
And if you can stand up and walk around for a little bit, that's great.
Okay.
That'll be perfect too.
Okay.
Right? Because you'll be sitting on your computer, by your workstation for hours on end, and you don't even notice it.
Right. Right.
So.
Okay.
20-20-20 rule. So that's another
good to know
basic tip that I can give you.
Okay.
So I have here a mouse. Sometimes we forget how important it is to have a nice mouse, or how to use your mouse correctly.
Okay.
So this is actually my mouse, my ergonomic mouse. I have fairly large hands for a woman, so I can't use the flat ones that are, the typical ones that we have, right? So when you put your hands on the mouse, it will rest like naturally, if you can try that, but you have large hands.
Okay.
It's not the usual mouse that your hands are flat, right? So here it's like natural, you're just resting it.
Right.
And when you're using your mouse, don't use your wrist.
I just use my wrist.
You have to move the mouse with your arms.
Oh.
Right? That's how you do it. Because that will create the carpal tunnel syndrome.
Oh, so just using the trackpad is not a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? If you have a mouse, and if you can invest in a good ergonomic mouse, that would be better.
Okay. I guess I know where I'm going right after this.
So that was great. I learned a lot today from Roanna, and I now feel like I have to go home and basically take a flamethrower to my entire office and start all over again. So now I got a whole afternoon worth of work ahead of me. But really appreciate that insight. Thank you so much, Roanna. And actually, I'm going to try and see if I can sneak this book out of here, because that's the whole story, it says. We're going to post some information on Roanna's new company and her website and everything, so stay tuned. And thanks everybody for watching.